Steve Mariucci, my compadre from NFL Game Day Morning, has called that the pride of the Northern Michigan University here on the Rich Eisen Show once again. How are you, Mooch?
Good morning, Rich. You had Matt Ryan on earlier.
The Mattrel has already called in. Yes, Steve.
Did he accept that nickname from you yet?
Well, I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of proud. I didn't even bring it up.
He didn't bring it up either?
No. It was
it's vanished. It's gone.
It's over.
Well, if that was going to be
to Matty Ice.
If that was going to be the result, then I would have definitely brought it up.
Hey, but when I was watching that, I'm sure everybody else too. Here we go again. I felt that, Rich. I was saying it out loud. Here we go again. Oh my God, 24 points up, and here comes Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he said. I mean, Brockman, you could back it up. He said we don't even think about it anymore. What do you think?
Everybody in the stands was thinking about. I can't wait to see that stadium. Man, did that look awesome, huh?
It did. And guess what? The Thursday night we're there, the Chick-fil-A will be open, Steve.
Oh yeah, we're there. I can't wait. Yeah, but they're a good team. They're better on defense.
They are, aren't they? They look at.
You know, those 4 rookies that they played last year all to kind of grow up. There's no sophomore slump, and then you had Dontari Poe. Did you see that guy?
I did see that guy.
You know, he was a good addition in Desmond Trufant's back, and he was, you know, he plays nice tight man coverage and got the big pick at the end there, and made it rough on Aaron Rodgers.
I got to tell you, Steve, 2 weeks in, and I know it's just 1/8 of the season. With all due respect to Carolina being the other 2-0 team in the NFC, the Falcons have got to be the team to beat in this conference.
I think so, because what you just mentioned, their defense is better, and that's true. Okay, definitely better on defense, and that was their Achilles heel last year, right? And their offense didn't come out of the gate fast against the Bears. It was a little sloppy. Remember, we did a little Warner's corner, and Kurt just ripped on him a little bit, like he does.
Yes, he does.
But you know what? It just takes time with a new play caller, a new coordinator, and Steve Sarkisian. And it looks like, hey, they're starting to get it. And Julio Jones is involved, and they got 2 great running backs. And Matty Ice is Matty Ice, and he's going to be an MVP candidate again. And maybe so, because Dallas showed vulnerability, and obviously the Packers did, and Seattle certainly did. So maybe right now the team to beat in the NFC is the Falcons again.
So let's hit those other 2 right now. I opened the show by saying that the Giants don't just own the blueprint anymore on how to beat the Cowboys. And Green Bay's blueprint last year was let's just stick a red-hot quarterback in Dallas and hit him in the mouth. I think Denver showed a blueprint on how to beat the.
Right.
So you tell me. I mean, how did Dallas look as poorly as they did yesterday?
So Denver, of course, is a good football team, right? I mean, we've known they're good on defense, but with the way they're built on defense, Rich, they've got 3 cover guys that are probably better than anybody else's 3 cover guys in the league, with Aqib Talib and Chris Harris and Bradley Roby. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what they did is they played man-to-man, nice tight man-to-man coverage. They're not they can run with anybody. Des, I want to say, had 16 targets or something like that, and you know, he had a few catches, but you know, then they stayed base with their front 7 against the run. And they loaded up the box with their base front and played 3 corners and 1 safety in the game quite a bit of the time. And so that's a real interest. Not every team can do that.
So who are the other teams that can do that in the NFL, you think?
Gosh, I'm trying to think of who might have some good. Nobody has 3 great corners like that. But if you have 2 good corners, you still can load the box up and play man-to-man, right? You can play your nickel defense, but then put your safeties closer to the box. Ezekiel Elliott got really frustrated, right? And there was nowhere to go. And so they stopped the run with numbers, and they stopped and slowed down the pass with tight man-to-man coverage. It was unbelievable. And then, of course, your quarterback's got to play well. Trevor Siemian did. You know, he won that job, and we made an issue out of it, the competition with Paxton Lynch. He won that job hands down.
No, there's no doubt about it, Steve. Well, I mean, in LT, LaDainian on Game Day Prime last night with Dion said that Elliott quit on the Cowboys, flat out quit on the Cowboys, and then there was that one instance where there was an interception where he stood with his hands on his hips and watched other teammates try to track the play down. And folks think that Jason Garrett should discipline Elliott for that. How would you handle the situation, Steve?
Yeah, that's an interesting scenario too, because I think it shows his immaturity, where he's so used to having 100 yards rushing in a game or whatever, 80 yards plus for 15 out of 17 games is unheard of, and then all of a sudden it doesn't go your way and you pout or you show disapproval or whatever that is. I think it's a maturity thing, and I think he's got to learn that it's not going to always go his way.
Well, how would you handle it as a coach? I mean, what would you do?
Yeah, I'd probably sit him down. I'd have to see it. I heard about it. I haven't seen it and all that, but or saw his comments or his demeanor in the locker room. Sometimes guys get verbal, and sometimes they get animated, and sometimes they just get quiet. I'd probably sit him down and say, hey, listen, it's not going to always be easy. You're going to have tough games, and you just got to kind of fight through it and be a good teammate and go through the ups and downs. If you want to have a heck of a career, you're going to get a little bit of everything. So just deal with it, and he will. He will. But this was an eye-opener for the kid. It was like, oh, my God, it's not as easy as maybe I thought it was going to be all the time.
Steve Mariucci, my compadre from NFL Game Day Morning, and he will be with me as it's a home game for him, literally, when we're in San Francisco, San Jose area for the Week 3 kickoff between the Rams and 49ers on Thursday night. What gives?
Time out, Rich. I'm still trying to plan if we're going to come over to my house, go down to the wine cellar and have some pasta and some vino before the game on Wednesday night. So let's figure out our schedules.
Well, Brockman and Del Tufo are signaling because they're coming with.
+2, Mooch. +2.
Mooch.
Okay.
+2.
We'll figure it out, Mooch.
Okay.
But yeah, save 2 seats and then a couple of portions. For one of the two. So what gives with the Seattle offense, Steve? What's going on there?
I know it, huh? I mean, they were better than that in the preseason, and then you watch them against the Niners, and it's like, where did they go? Now it rained. Sometimes the rain makes it a little difficult, but they just aren't hitting on like they want to, and you had 312 yards of offense. They're balanced with some passing and some rushing, but they don't throw the ball. They didn't turn the ball over, but they've only scored 1 touchdown now in 2 games, and so. But I don't know. I thought Seattle would be another team in the NFC that we would mention as a contender.
Well, is their scheme too simple?
Tom Cable is their offensive line coach. I know Tom. He was one of my assistant coaches at Cal. He's really a good coach. He's been the head coach of the Raiders. Anyway, he's on my tree, Rich. And so they think that he can just pull off miracles all the time, And then George, Fant, the left tackle, was hurt in the preseason, blew his knee out, and now they got a replacement over there. And they've been playing musical chairs with some young guys on the offensive line for years. And they expect him just to be good and without drafting high and like the Dallas Cowboys did. And he's dealing with guys that are probably going to be just okay. Just okay.
But, I mean, how about
Wilson's running for his life. They don't run the ball like they wanted to. They brought in Eddie Lacy to replace Beast Mode. That didn't happen. They benched him, right? They didn't even play him this game.
But what about this, Steve? I mean, with Darrell Bevel there, everybody's poached Pete Carroll's defensive coaches. They try to get Tom Cable, and he stuck around there because I guess the opportunity wasn't there. Nobody's knocking on the door for Darrell Bevel. And shouldn't that scream something? I mean, the number of Seattle fans that would love to see a change at that spot in the same way that Marvin Lewis just made one after 2 weeks. I mean, this has been going on for years. I mean, what's the answer here?
I think you gotta look at the general philosophy of a head coach. He builds his team around defense. They spend money on defense, and they like a close. It's kind of like the Baltimore Ravens when they were playing good football and good defense. You keep the score down, and your offensive scheme and philosophy is to run the ball, be balanced, don't screw it up, don't turn it over. You're not in shotgun throwing it 50 times. That's just not how they want to play offensive football. And so they win games low scoring and with just efficient football on offense, and that's what they've been doing. So Darrell Bevel is not going to be considered a guru by playing offense that way. And Russell Wilson's the exact kind of guy to do that. He can throw it or run it or scramble around like crazy if need be. So that's just how it is. I don't count them out. I think Seattle will be better as they go. They just, I'm with you. I'd like them to be more efficient and explosive on offense, too.
Before I let you go, who's the best team in the AFC through 2 weeks, do you think?
Who's the best team in the AFC?
Through 2 weeks.
Well, the best team yesterday were the Patriots, and they sure didn't look at the first game, but here they are again, and I was just so impressed with Tom Brady's 447 and how they play, and they get all these new guys. You know, Gillisley has 18 carries, and you got Burkhead. I mean, these guys are from other teams that were just okay, and all of a sudden, you know, Belichick makes them stars, and so we got to really watch it though with the Patriots, because they only suited up 3 wide receivers, and 2 of them got hurt in this game. You know, Hogan came limping off, and so did Philip Dorsett, and Gronk did too. So it's going to be interesting with their injury report, but they look really good.
All right, Mooch, I'll see you in San Francisco in a couple of days, or San Jose. I guess San Jose.
I hope to see you at the house on Wednesday night, Rich.
You got it, Mooch.
Okay.
You got it.
Bye.
Take care. That's Steve Mariucci.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you like that video, be sure to download our app, and I'll be sure to move Week 6 games to Saturday for that wedding you have to go to.